Hey guys, Linda Bamba here from Linda Bamba. I'm just going to give everybody a few more minutes before we start. I am going to do a screen share because we have to, actually I got to go over to Facebook to show you this. And now you should be able to see my Facebook screen. So I'll get started at 7. I know there's a lot going on tonight and I don't want to waste any time, but my name is Linda Bamba. I'm an entrepreneur and a home-based business owner for everybody that doesn't know me. Tonight I'm going to show you what I call the 3 F's of Facebook marketing. If you're going to spend any time on Facebook, you know that you can reach really 1 billion people. You do need, I work more off my personal profile. I do have a fan page, but what I will say to you is if you're doing anything in the groups, if you belong to any groups, and I don't suggest spamming the groups, I'm talking more groups that you interact with people, you really need a profile. You can't do that off a fan page, so really you need both. But I have more stuff going on my profile. I do use both, but what I'm going to show you tonight is what you would basically be doing working off your profile, and I'm calling this the 3 F's of Facebook marketing. And I say the 3 F's because friending people, following, and you know that those are 2 things that are particular to Facebook. But let me get started because I know I've generated most of my leads and made most of my contacts off of Facebook on account of this. Now, the first one of the F's that I was going to talk to you about tonight is following. And this is something I spend time doing every day. I don't spend a lot of time doing this. I'll usually do a couple times. Keep in mind, there is a limit on your profile, just as are our friends, that you can have a 5,000 limit. But I do this every day. I come over here to my profile, and if you see, you have some choices up here. If you click on the more, I want to click on follow. You can see I'm almost following 5,000 people. I'm up to about 4,756. But what I do is I reach out and I connect with 10 new people every single day. And this is one of the ways that I do reach out and talk to people and using this following thing. I'll go through, and one of the things I'm trying to do is I want to stay under the 5,000 so I can keep following more people. And if I do 10 people like this a day, in a week it's 70 people, and then in a month it's 280. When you are following someone and then you send them a friend request, then that person, and they accept, that comes off the number that you're following. So it's a way to maintain this, because if you start doing this and follow people every day, eventually you're going to get close to 5,000 or hit it. And you will get a message from Facebook saying you've hit the limit. So this is what I do. I come over here and these are all the people I'm following. I'll go down and look at these, and I'm gonna click on him. Him and I are not friends, and we've got 110 mutual friends. I'm gonna friend request him. Now see how it gets a message. He's got a 5,000 limit, so he's not gonna work. So I'll move on. And there are people that you are gonna get that you're gonna get an error message because I've got more than 5,000 friends. And this also serves as a reminder for me too, because like her, I know I already sent her a friend request and I commented, so I don't want to do it again. And actually, and people, they're not always going to accept your friend request, or maybe they're not online that much. But let me see. Let's look at her, Kelly. I'm following her. I'm going to send her a friend request. I'm going to come over here. She posted recently, so she's active. And what I do is, I'm gonna look through a profile, see we do have mutual friends in common. Looks like I would say, since she is Canadian, I would presume, because she's got the flag there, although she doesn't say where she lives up here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through this and comment. I'm gonna comment on this. I'm gonna like it, and I'm gonna say something to the effect is, yes, all we need is love. And to tag someone that you're just following, if you put the little @ sign in front of the person's name, their name's going to come up here. See, now she's coming up. And I usually always do the first name. It's more personal rather than doing their first and last name. So I'll say, yes, all we need is Love Kelly, and make a comment. And I've sent her, if I come back up here, I've sent her a friend request. So she's going to get a message because I tagged her. I was following her, and she's going to get a friend request. So I've been doing this, and then some people respond, some don't. I mean, you have to realize when you're going into this that not everybody's going to respond, and you're looking for people that are active on Facebook that are going to respond to you and that you have mutual friends with, because you know that they're in the same space. So that's the, I mean, you're following them and then you're friending them. And I'll go through, this is one thing that I will go through and look at people. Let's see, find somebody else. And obviously, the more people you're following, the more when you come over here and you're looking for people this way that you'll have. But I do this more because I am trying to, I could go through all these and start unfollowing them. But then the other issue with that is, I mean, you just can't keep, you can't keep following people. I mean, you will hit that, the limit, unfortunately. So you gotta have to, when you're working off your profile, because really the truth is Facebook doesn't really want you working off your profile. They want this met as a personal platform, and not to be using it for business. Let's see, let's go. Let's look at her. I'm following her. We've got 10 friends in common. Okay, I'm gonna send her a friend request. And she posted and I usually look for people posting within the last 24 hours. She looks like she's got some engagement on this, or some people, but nobody's commented. So I'm going to comment on this and say, and then here you have to look. I'm looking for her name to come up, which I don't see this. Okay, there she is. Yes, it does take courage, for sure. And I've come back up. I sent the friend request. I'm following her. So she should get the friend request. And it's less likely that if somebody, the more active someone is, then the more engaged they are, that they're likely that they are going to respond to you. And that's exactly what you want. Now, another thing I do is, if you haven't used this graph search, this is a great way to find people. I'll search for people this way and do something like friends of friends who like, let's just say Ray Higdon. Give it a chance to come up in it. You really want to click on people. And a lot of these are people that I'm already friends with that are coming up, which I don't necessarily want. So now I've done this. Let's try something else. I've done other searches with this and gotten people that I'm not friends with. Okay, I think probably because, not that Ray Higdon's not a big name in this space, because see, I'm not friends with these people. That Eric Worre's a lot bigger, and he's over 600,000 likes on his page. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to pick a person or you're going to pick a niche, you may have to do more than one search to get something that comes up that works for you. And I usually do go down and I'm looking for, well, one of the things I do is, if you look over here, it tells you the number of mutual friends. You want to fine. Usually I go for at least that we have 10 or more mutual friends in common. Before I would go check them out a little bit more. Him and I were not friends. I just go over to his page. Okay, he posted about 11 hours. He lives in Thailand. We have mutual friends. He's got a mindset thing. And it's amazing, we as marketers now, because of Facebook, you can come over to someone's profile and you can start learning all these things about the person, before you even had any contact with them. And it gives you a great opportunity to connect with somebody. Just connect. Nothing weird. You don't have to bring up your business or anything like that. So he belongs to a couple hundred groups. He likes Eric Worre, obviously, because that's what I searched for. World's best pranks. He probably has a sense of humor. Maybe he's into bodybuilding. He looks like he probably speaks another language. And we've got 56 mutual friends. So I'm going to comment on this. If you focus daily for a year on discipline and actions needed to succeed, you will live the rest of your life in the way of others' dreams. And so I'm going to comment on, it's not going to let me, it's not going to, oh, there it goes. I'm going to leave him a comment and say, true, and I'll tag him on this, Mark, Andrew, we should live our life for ourselves. And I'm going to send him a friend request and see if he answers. And this graph search, I mean, you could do friends of friends in the health and wellness industry. I mean, if you're looking for people, and click under people, now nothing's coming up. You may have to be more specific in your searches. I could do something like friends of friends in and you may, depending on what you're looking for, you may have to, figure different things out that work for you. Multi-level, multi-love. Oh, that's good. All right, multi-level marketing. Let's see what comes up. And let's look under people. And see, a bunch of people are coming up here that I'm not friends. So this would be a good, and I've got mutual friends in here, but I don't have, actually none of these are friends. So this would be, let's go through this. This would be a good thing to look through. So I'm going to, let's see. You go over and check her out. So she posted recently. Okay, she's saying how she's making money every hour. This second post is definitely, she doesn't look like she's got a whole lot going on her page. And say, Wendy and Pete, life is too short. And see if they, it looks like this may be a couple, possibly, because of the two names. That's just saying that. And I would, well, I'll wait and see if she answers. I could friend her, and I could follow her. But, I mean, I wasn't following her before, and we do have some mutual friends. I want to see, I'll wait and see if she answers. But that's the first two F's, the following and then sending them friend request. And you can see if I come back here, and if I do this, and he hasn't answered. But this is a way for me to keep down and pare down the number of people I'm following. So the fourth one, now see here, she's just answering. Now she liked it, but she's not replying. And this is a good way too, because what I found is people that respond and say something to you rather than just liking it, they're probably going to make a better person for you to connect with. And as Steve Krivda said, I was on a training recently. Now here she goes. Okay, she's commenting. So I'm going to put so true. I don't think any of us really know how much time we have left. So, I mean, so she is engaging, and that's really what you want. That's the point of this. You just want to start casual conversations with people. And that's what this does. I mean, I don't talk about anything about like, I have a business, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just meeting people. So there's the 3 F's. The first one's follow. The second one's friending them, sending them a friend request. The last one is following up. And there's 2 ways actually that you follow up. And this is something that you got to get in the habit of doing every day, but just kind of going through your news feed and seeing some of the people you connected with, looking for if they're posting. And there's, when you're going through here, that there's a thread that has a good deal of engagement. Now, I'm following her. I have not had a conversation with her, but I am following her. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, she changed. Okay, she's in Disneyland. She's worried about her hair. I'm going to put, your hair looks great. And I always tag people when I comment like this, because you'll get more of their attention. You're more likely to get their attention. Your hair looks great, Jill. And you got to put the @ because I'm just following her. So that's the only way I can follow her. I'm going to say Disney. She said Disney World or Disneyland, because I've been to both actually. Okay, Disneyland. I've been to Disneyland like 2 or 3 times. Disneyland is great. I have been there several times. Nice weather in California. And this is really just, you're getting people to engage back with you. Now this is, I know Heath, he was in the Navy. I know him. We're friends. And just tag him. And you don't have to spend very much time doing this. This is one way that I'm going to tell you that. And if you do this consistently, just to kind of follow up, and this does not take a lot of time. It really doesn't. I mean, if I spend an hour a day doing this, it's a lot. And the more you do it, the better that you get with it. This is one way of following up. Now, there may be instances, and I'm probably not going to have anything that I can show you on this webinar, because it's just not coming up. But let me see if anybody messaged me, because the other thing, what happens is, depending on how the conversation goes, if something would come up business related, this is where I would get in and say something to them like, oh, I'll have a cool newsletter. If you give me your email address, I'll add you. Because some people that you end up talking to, you're going to be talking to them and you're going to end up getting their email and putting them on your newsletter. This is how I generate leads, and I generate leads for free. Or you may, like these few people that I was talking to, tomorrow, tonight, and another day, they'll come over, because what they do is you're activating people to you. They'll come check me out. Now, this is a webinar that's a little later tonight. They could come over here. They could opt in and come to this webinar tonight. I'm not doing that webinar, but I'm going to be on it. Or when I just post things, this was about this webinar. Let me get in there. There's a cheesesteak. For people that don't know, Philadelphia is known for cheesesteaks. Okay, now the other night my account was hacked. When I post anything that it's not like a webinar or something, I put, well, this is my newsletter. It's a branded domain name, and they can opt in here and get on my newsletter. What people will do that I've talked to at their own, time and pace, we may have talked at a message, or I may have been on their profile and had a conversation in a thread, something like that. They may come over, check me out, and then I've had people that just opt in and get on my newsletter that way. And I'll show you what I do to follow up with that. But now here, this was all about my Facebook profile being hacked. And following up, I think people probably don't do it enough. And follow up, you're really kind of leaving out. What I showed you here, this is one way. Directly on Facebook, you can follow up by looking through your news feed for people that you're connecting and following. But now the people that do end up, excuse me, opting in and becoming a lead, this is called a CRM, a client relationship manager, where, actually, let me take this out. All my prospects show up, and I have the ability with this system. Now, he opted in early this morning. I talked to this guy early this morning. It was this morning. I have the opportunity. What I'll do is I will follow up with this guy by email this way. And I call this my CRM, Client Relationship Manager. I do use it for a couple of different things, but I use this for following up. They give you some already pre-done templates for you in here, but I've personalized a lot of mine. There are some canned ones that I use, but this is one I use for my newsletter. I click this, I can see the email before it goes in. If I hit push email, it's going to come over, and I use my Comcast account to my default, like my regular email. I'm going to click this arrow. You hear a noise, and then this will pop up your message through your default email, and I want to hit log email. And you can see here, it puts a little, because I emailed them. And I just do this, I do this with, now this guy came through one of my general websites, not my newsletter. I have a template for that. I'll send him one as well. And I do this for my leads coming in to follow up. If it was somebody I talked to, I click this to get, this message comes back up. And if how the lead came through. And then you can see the sign there. But this is a client relationship manager in a program, My Lead System Pro, that I'm involved with. It's one of the features that I get here. I know people can pay $50, $100 just alone to have that. And I use it to write myself notes about my prospects. If I look at this, there's a spot down here. I can write a note about the person. I can schedule a task if I called them, or I want to make a note that I talked to them on Facebook or wherever I was contacting them. So this is really cool, and this is a great way to follow up with people. And I pushed a thing out in the chat for you you can take a 10-day, $10 trial of My Lead System Pro and check this out and see there's a lot of other features in here, but I mean, the fortune really is in the follow-up. I mean, I do have an autoresponder, and you certainly need that too. But I put that out there. You can take a 10-day, $10 trial. Anybody that signs up with me before midnight tonight and take a trial, I'm giving some bonuses out that you get an hour one-on-one consulting time with me. And then if you stay at Mastery and continue on, I will give that to you for every month that you're an active member in My Lead System Pro at Mastery with me. We can get on Skype, we can get on the phone, we can go over your business, your marketing, anything you want, but that's an hour of one-on-one consulting time with me as a bonus, and ever, a length of time, that's a great bonus. So you can go ahead and take the 10-day, $10 trial. If anybody has any questions, I'm going to come back out. Here's the offer. See if anybody's got any questions before we wrap this up. There's the offer. You can put it in your cart. I see that nobody has any questions, so that's the end of this broadcast. Thanks for coming. If you still have more questions, connect with me on Facebook, and I'll see you guys later.